So basically, shit's about to hit the fan.
This one is truly startling.
This one actually kind of keeps me up at night, so I really hope that it doesn't do the same to you, but you get the point.
Hey! Wait, is it intro or outro?
Intro.
We have to do both.
Hey.
Welcome!
We're gonna sit down.
This video, as you can see from the title, today we're doing a conspiracy theory video. It's
We
freaking scary. Yeah,
so
it's
prepared to be
scary
mind blown.
stuff.
if you're trying to sleep, don't watch this video.
If you're home alone,
You're about to get ready for bed.
Don't.
just
Like,
don't watch
keep
our
the
videos
lights on.
if you're about to go to bed anyways, because
Yes.
We all have conspiracy theories about each other, and that's basically what
And
this
we don't
video
know what
is.
they are.
Yeah, we don't
We're
know.
gonna see them when Lulu
When posts the video, that's when.
So
Enjoy the video.
Like this in the same
Yeah, we go. Ready? Wait.
Okay, so my first conspiracy is about Libby. I have a theory. It's not even much of a theory, it's more of the truth. I have a theory that Libby is literally a leprechaun. So she used to tell me all of these like sob stories about how when she was younger she was like afraid of leprechauns and just like all of that, you know? She was like terrified of leprechauns, like she like was terrified of like St. Patrick's Day. But I personally think that is just a cover-up for the fact that she actually is a leprechaun. So it just only makes sense that she would make up all these like fake stories to like protect her dirty little secret. She also gets a little bit too excited about St. Patty's Day every year. Here's my evidence for that.
I can't believe it's St. Patrick's Day already.
So yeah, that was from St. Patty's Day last year, and she was only like more obsessed this year, and like of course she would be because it's her day, you know what I mean? Also, she took an Irish dancing class for no reason. Seems a little too fishy for me.
My next conspiracy is that Libby's actually a vampire. Have you ever seen a picture of Libby in a mirror? No, so there's that.
Libby. When I was just searching up Libby on the interweb, I find when you search Libby, this is what comes up. You're searching up Libby, yes? You're scrolling. You go to images, and you see this. It's a lizard. It's a lady looking into the mirror, and it's a lizard in the mirror. Now, this lady does look like Libby, and Libby starts with an L, so does lizard. So basically, Libby is a lizard.
I'm starting with Libby. Libby, so here's what I got. She's literally the creator of iHeartRadio, okay? You know, the radio show? How else would she be able to go to all those concerts she goes to? She goes to Sabrina Carpenter, Ross Lynch, other people that are stupid. And, like, where will it end? What other places will she go to? Like, we get it. You created our iHeartRadio, and, like, you need to invite us sometimes. And, like, also, her mom works there, so obviously she, like, hooked her mom up with that job. And working at iHeartRadio is such a random job, so obviously she had to pull some strings to get her mom to work there. So, basically, she created iHeartRadio.
We have Annika. Annika, as you know... Do you even know her? No, you don't. Annika sounds like Anakin Skywalker. She's actually named after him. Now, Anakin Skywalker, this guy, he is also Darth Vader. You know, the evil mastermind behind all of this. Then, Annika's mom's name is Kyla. Sounds like Kylo Ren from Star Wars. This guy. Now, both of these guys have scars over, when I'm looking at it, their left eyes, so they must be related, just as Annika and Kyla is. Now, Annika, also known as Anakin, is Darth Vader, like I said, and Darth Vader is very evil. So, all in all, Annika's gonna end up trying to kill us all one day.
This is about Annika, by the way. I've gone through some of my screenshots I have from her Snapchats. These are just a select few that I thought would work. I have plenty more, I'm sure. Here we have this first one. And it says, Every Day I'm Shuffling. As you can see, that is Annika. Next, we have this one. And it says, Can't Find My Turkey Twist. Starting to get the hint? Yeah. This one is just a picture of her. And this is one. This is where I knew, like I was kind of starting to gather the information from the other Snapchats that she sent me and think, oh, like this theory that I have could be true, but this is the one that set it off. It's not a theory, this is a fact. Here it is. It says, George Washington's house, ... broke ass bitch can only afford some bricks. So, as you can tell from all of these Snapchats I showed you, there's only one possible solution, and it's that Annika was a founding father of the United States of America. So I'm not quite sure which founding father, because obviously not George Washington, because she roasted the shit out of him, but I know she is the reincarnation of one of the founding fathers of the United States. As you can see, this first one I showed you, every day I'm shuffling. Well, her hair clearly looks like maybe she could be balding on the top, which lots of founding fathers in early America times were, and her hair just really looks like one of the wigs they wore. And it says every day I'm shuffling. Obviously, she was one of the founding fathers shuffling through all their papers, maybe like to create the Declaration of Independence. This one, can't find my Kirby twist. So obvious. They didn't have Kirby twists in colonial America. Why would she be able to find it unless she's a founding father? This one is just self-explanatory. She literally just looks like a founding father. Like her hair is like the little wig, like with the curl things. She forgot to take her wig off before bed. And this one, the George Washington one, is just, how would she even know about George Washington's house and that he was a broke ass bitch and couldn't afford bricks unless she knew him? So she had to have been a founding father or know someone who was a founding father, or she is the reincarnation of one of our founding fathers of America. Hopefully one day I'll be able to uncover which one she is.
Okay, Annika. So my theory is that she is an ornithologist, which is a person who studies birds. And she has been someone who's studying birds for hundreds of years ago. Annika she knows everything about birds. When she sees a bird, she'll be able to say anything about it. And that's so hard to do. And like, my theory is like, she is immortal. And she's been studying birds since she's like 200 years ago. She knows all these things because she's been studying for so long and she's fooling us. We think that she's 16, but really she's 200 because she knows all these facts about birds. Because learning about that is so weird, and like we're all being lied about, okay, with her being, we think she's so good at knowing about birds, but really she's old and she's been doing this for a while and she's just fooling us.
My next theory is that Annika is actually an Australian magpie. So if you like know Annika, or like if you're following her Instagram or whatever, you would know that she is obsessed with birds, like so obsessed with birds. She loves birds so much, and her obsession with birds was like really sudden. Like I remember last year, like she didn't really like talk about birds that much, or she didn't like post about them or whatever, but it's like now, like since probably like November, it's like her entire Instagram feed is just birds. So my theory is that when she went to the Galapagos last year for spring break, and I feel like that is when maybe in the middle of the night or something, I don't know how like the days work in the Galapagos, but it's none of my business. I feel like she was just kind of like, I don't even know how it works, like I don't know bird anything. She is now a bird and she's trying to take over the world because everyone knows, like from like scary movies, not even like scary movies, like disaster movies, you know what I mean? Like birds are just like the worst when it comes to like death and stuff. I don't even know. Yeah, and Australian magpies are actually the most aggressive types of birds, so that's why I picked this one. I actually don't know anything about birds, but she does, so.
This next one is about Jillian. I think I'm just gonna come out and say it. If you've seen Jillian, you'll know just like how thick she is. Like, it's insane. It's crazy. And the only reason that that any human being could ever be like that is because she's not a human being. Jillian is a hologram. There, I said it. Jillian's a hologram. And she is actually, she might be, there's a possibility she could be a study from a school somewhere, maybe Harvard. Jillian is fake. And just because she's so thick and so beautiful, it's like impossible that a real human being that wasn't like made in a lab, like Jillian was probably made in a lab. That's what it is. Jillian was made in a lab by some scientists from Harvard U. That's what it is. Harvard. I know it. It's Harvard. And she is a product of one of their experiments and they just wanted to see how they could make someone so thick and so beautiful and see how they would act to it, what kind of reactions they would get, and obviously they created a narcissist. So Jillian was made in a lab.
Okay, my next conspiracy. So you know how Jillian is thick and beautiful? I don't think that she's one person. I need a picture. So you know how Jillian, she always is like, oh, I'm thick and beautiful. Like, okay, here's my idea. Here's Jillian. Okay, here's the drawing of Jillian. So this is the outside layer of her, when in reality, okay, so this is my drawing. Jillian isn't just like one person. She's two small people, like hugging, like, you know, like okay, imagine there's another person like right here. We're hugging, okay, and then a person over here hugging with it, okay? And so they have one arm out to fit the bodysuit that is Jillian, of the Jillian we know, and they have their legs together like that, and it's like one of Jillian's legs. Okay, so it's two people in one bodysuit making Jillian thick and beautiful. My conspiracy is that Jillian is not one person, but two skinny people just like connected, okay? That's why she's so thick and beautiful.
My next one is about Jillian. So I have a theory that Jillian is actually a simulation experiment conducted by Harvard University. So if you take a look at a piece, just a sliver, if you will, of her old Twitter feed, she actually has since deleted most of these tweets because we kept roasting her for it, obviously. But she, if you take a look at just some of these receipts, she used to just like tweet all the time, and like no one was liking her tweets, no one was retweeting her tweets, but she just kept like I'm just like frazzled. She just kept like tweeting stuff over and over again, and that just really makes me think that like, I don't even know what it makes me think. So that is why I feel like she was an experiment by Harvard, to like, she was brainwashed into thinking that she was social media famous, and like she had all of these followers. So yeah, and she went like through this whole process of like this experiment. I mean, she was just brainwashed into thinking that she was just a social media star. She has since deleted her tweets because she claims that it was because we were like posting her for it, which obviously we were, but I think it's because the experiment is over and she doesn't want any evidence of it. Also a little fishy because if you refer back to one of our old vlogs, Libby was accepted into Harvard University for her dance abilities. So I feel like those two are connected. I just don't like know how to connect them.
Alright. Jillian. She always says she's thick and beautiful, right? But we all know she's not. So my theory is that she is literally possessed by the satanic version of Aphrodite, the goddess of love. With this condition comes with feelings of always wanting a boyfriend and like, oh, I want a boyfriend, and like, oh, he's so hot, he likes me. And she always thinks that every guy she sees and looks at her thinks that, oh, she's so thick and beautiful. She's too thick and beautiful. But we all know that she isn't. And we know if we tell her the truth, that like she's just going to obliterate us and she's going to kill us, because when like people get overworked with love, they do crazy things. And so my theory is that she is the satanic version of Aphrodite, the goddess of love.
Next, Katie. Katie? Not real. Not at all. She's a hologram.
My last theory is not even a theory, it's about Katie, and I have a theory that Katie is actually Darwin from G-Force. So you probably have not, or maybe you have, I don't know, seen the movie G-Force. It's about a bunch of guinea pigs who are spies, and it's like pretty fitting for Katie's personality, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of like goes together. But the true evidence in this comes with the pictures. You take a look at a picture of Darwin, and then you take a look at a picture of Katie, uncanny, like terrifying, honestly, about how just similar they look.
Katie is related to, you know, the royal family in whatever, like London or something. You know, I'm talking about like Prince Harry and Prince, I don't know any of their names. Kate? Princess Kate? Yeah, they're related. That's why she's so bratty all the time, because she's actually a princess. She doesn't know it. She knows it, but we don't.
Okay, this is about Katie. I believe Katie was a government tactic used to scare people. I don't know what types of people, maybe all people who oppose the government, anything really, but she was a government scare tactic that they created also in a lab, probably similar to Jillian, but they put Katie on this earth to try and scare the people of America. The government lost control of her, actually, and that's how she ended up becoming friends with us. They had no control of her anymore. The reason I think that is because sometimes her system will glitch, and you can catch her saying things like, we were all sitting around fire pit in Katie's backyard, and we were literally just making some friendship bracelets, talking, and she just randomly goes, no one can control us. Like, I am dead serious. She just stopped and just looked straight forward at the fire and goes, no one can control us. And I was like, we were all like, okay, like, okay. And so that's obviously one of her system glitches. And another time was this past week. We were walking to Lou's car, and then we got into Lou's car, and within like a 5-minute time span, she said, Libby, just because you're captain doesn't mean you can control me. Twice in 5 minutes. That was the day I found out I was a captain. So obviously her system is just glitching, and she was obviously made by a scare tactic to from the government, but they have lost control, and so she's trying to let us know that. And the last piece of evidence I actually found her Twitter account. She had never told us about this account, but I found it, and it's Katie Ballard, and it's a picture of her at the beach with some friends. She has one tweet from June 18th, 2015, 3 years ago, and it says, in quotes, what you gonna do with that booga? Now, I don't know what that means. It has no likes, no retweets, no replies, so obviously no one else knows what that means. And I think that was something the government tweeted from her account to maybe as a first tweet to try and test to see if it would scare people, scare kids, scare the Twitter community, but it just never got out there. But I found it, and I have the evidence, and Katie is government scare tactic and the government has lost control of her. So I don't know how I'm gonna break it to her that I know this, but I guess you'll see it in this video.
Next, I have Lulu. Lulu is literally intentionally trying to ruin her own life. There are many stupid things that she has done, and we all know them. There's a couple of them have been caught on our channel. After a few mistakes she has made, you would think that she will be able to like learn from them and not make as many stupid mistakes. That way her life won't be as horrible as it is right now. But with Lulu, that is literally not the case. First of all, she never leaves her room ever when she's at home, and so her mom always gets mad at her. And so if she would just leave her room, which is not very hard, and go be social for once in her life, maybe her mom wouldn't be mad at her, and maybe she would be grounded less and she would be happier. Next, she is constantly trying to get in trouble with the law. Honestly, like she always gets like beat up with the cops, whether it be not, she literally is so dumb, she doesn't turn her lights on when she's driving her car, and she got pulled over for not having her lights on. Like that's one example of her being a felon. She literally backed into a whole ass pole and knocked it all over, like one of those light poles. She's such an idiot and she knocked it over. You would think that her doing that and she would learn from that, but no. Knowing Lulu, in the next 24 hours there will be something else that she does where she gets in trouble with the law. I think that she's doing this on purpose because she wants us to feel bad for her, and she's just trying to intentionally ruin her life.
Lulu was replaced by an extraterrestrial creature during the 2012 Olympics. So here's some background in case you didn't know. In 2012, Lulu had an Instagram called YouGottaLove_Lu. She posted on this account maybe 5 times a day. Her last post was July 13th, 2012, exactly 2 weeks before the start of the London Olympics. On July 21st, 2012, the first day of the London Olympics, Lulu took this picture. Notice where she's at, the Space Needle.
Yeah, sorry, Annika. I was actually at the Empire State Building, so yeah.
It's got space in the word. The fact that she stopped posting on You Gotta Love Lu exactly 2 weeks before the start of the London Olympics, and then on the first day of the Olympics, she's at the Space Needle. The Space Needle is known for having extraterrestrial issues, so that means that the Lulu we know today, all you guys know out of Hygo Vlogs, is not actually Lulu. It is an extraterrestrial creature. I'm going to be talking about Lulu. So, when you look up Lulu, you find this. Lulu, a singer-songwriter. She's a Scottish singer. Then, you find Lulu is in a movie called Gonks Go Beat. Then, I look up what gonk means, Urban Dictionary, and it's someone that acts in a foolish way. In case you didn't know, Lulu just recently came out with an EP where she's Boo Boo the Fool. So, all in all, Lulu is actually Scottish, she's a singer-songwriter, and gonk is foolish. And Lulu's foolish. It just pretty much all makes sense.
Lulu's most recent post is this. We were in a field watching sunset. All of us. It was a great time. This post was in August, outside again. This picture is outside. This one, Lulu got her license, again, outside. As you can tell, her trip to Europe, outside. This is insane. She's literally always outside, and that's the only part of her life that she seems to want to show on Instagram. And as you can see in this boomerang, she looks so happy to be outside. This one in the middle of a field. So what I uncovered from Lulu, wow, pains me to say this, but Lulu Thomas is scared of the indoors. There, I said it. She's scared to be inside. She is scared of the indoors. She just has to be outside all the time because if you notice, I've noticed when I hang out with her, whenever we're inside, she's just so uptight and agitated, and it's because she's inside. Look at this. She's in the middle of Lake Tahoe. So the caption says, "I did not have fun." Okay, great way to cover it up. We know you had fun because you cannot stand to be inside.
We made it!
Thank you guys for watching.
You made it in the video! Smash that like button! Follow us! Follow us!
Turn on our follow.
At Hygo.vlogs, also our personals.
Merch is always in the
Always! Turn on the post notifications so you never miss any
Hit
videos.
that bell.
Let's see how fast we can get to 500,000 likes.
5 likes and I'll run Lulu over with my car.
Bye,
Okay,
guys.
so